Oh, I just saw my face. I was looking at my neighbors. Is that my resting face? That's crazy. Whoops. Oh, that's so funny to me. Anyway, let's get into it. This is recording, so we're not going to waste any more time with my resting face. Welcome, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. If you're a cross watcher, you're more than welcome to watch. I'm just very honest. We're going to be getting rest of February predictions for you, having a look at this in a general way, and then I'm going to quickly have a look at your love life at the end. I do more guidance readings, love readings on my main channel if you need that information. Otherwise, this is really just for the next 15 days. I believe we did the maths for Sagittarius. So we're going to do another prediction for the month ahead in March in about a week and a half time. If you need more advice or if you just want a bit more clarity, a little bit more of a heads up of what to expect. I always freak out over how much we go through in such a short period of time. That happened with the rest of January predictions. We'll see what happens for you for the rest of February. But without further ado, now is the time to set your intentions as the viewer. Is there a specific clarity, information, or guidance you're seeking? Set your intention, and I'm going to set mine as your reader. Spirit, please tune me into Capricorn's energy. Please help me offer Capricorn the most clear, honest messages about their rest of February. Thank you, Spirit. Alrighty, let's start with your oracle cards. If I can get them the right way. What is happening for Capricorn for the rest of February, Spirit? I'm trying to smile now whenever I see the neighbors. All right, we have South Node, North Node showing up upright. All right, we have Earth, okay. With Earth upright, at the top of the triangle is Taurus and Virgo. You're at the bottom. I don't think that's a bad thing. Is there anything else you can tell us, Spirit, about Capricorn's rest of February? We're going to take Trine as well. Trine in the reversed position. And at the back of the deck is the 10th house, Capricorn. Behind that is Midhaven. Okay, I feel really good about this for you. You're having a really good, well, listen, not to be a negative Nancy, but this is you. So the next couple of weeks is really going to be about you kind of falling into instinct. You're definitely just sort of cycling through these days. You're handling things in a way that feels very natural to you. You're prioritizing the things that seem to be important to you in terms of commitments, in terms of money, in terms of family. You're sticking to those pillars, those typical pillars that a lot of people talk about when they like to talk about Capricorns. They're like, oh, Capricorns and money, right? Capricorns and career, Capricorns and family. So with the 10th house at the back of the deck, unfortunately, you're being a bit stereotypical. That's what your pillars are, and you're feeling really comfortable in that energy. That's why you're doing it. It's not because you're doing this consciously, although if you do have projects or certain goals, milestones that you're hoping to achieve before the end of the month, I see you being very successful in that. You're coming across as a bit of a perfectionist with the 10th house, a high achiever. And I don't think that's a bad thing. It's definitely adding to your reputation in situations where people don't know you very well. They see you as someone who puts a lot of work into what they do. And I'm also hearing that you're really good to work with, but you're coming across as an authority figure with the 10th house here. So I think this is good if it's what you want. You're being seen as someone that can handle a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibility, management vibes, right? Someone who is capable of being dependable and reliable. So again, all stereotypical things with Capricorn, but this feels natural to you. That's why it feels like a good couple of weeks, because it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's you in autopilot with the 10th house. It's good to see as your reader. It means that, you know, even if you do go through ups and downs, you're going to handle it quite naturally. You're going to feel like you have a good foundation, you're in the right frame of mind, you have enough of a clear head to be able to handle the challenges. So it's good to see for me as your reader. Now let's talk about your individual themes. They came out so singularly. Sagittarius was all over the place, and I think Scorpio was all over the place. So that's what gives me perfectionist vibes. When I do these readings, I always aim to pick one card, but I try not to do that exclusively because it's just about what spirit wants at the end of the day. So for you to be so measured, it makes me think that the next 2 weeks before the end of February, you are being very measured, you're being disciplined, you're being mindful. I see you operating restraint, which is pushing certain people further away from you. We'll have to see if that's a good or bad thing. It depends on who you ask, apparently. So let's talk about the South Node, North Node first. There is a full circle moment happening before February. These usually involve milestones or some sort of checkpoint in your journey where you're able to kind of look back and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe how far I've come. I can't believe where I'm at now. Look at everything I've been through. Look at everything I have to look forward to. It's not necessarily a finish line, a culmination. It's a checkpoint. It's an opportunity for you to go, wow, I've still got so much ahead, but I'm going to celebrate what I've been through. And it's a wholesome feeling. So there's going to be that kind of moment in the next 2 weeks, which has a very strong effect on you, sweet souls. It makes you want to do more. Like it actually lights a fire in your belly and goes, oof, like I'm grateful, but I need to do more. Now that I know I can do it, I'm ready. So what is this about, Spirit? What is this South Node, North Node about? I think you're also comparing either an older version of you or somebody you used to be close to, like an ex. Could be an older version of you with the King of Pentacles reversed. 2 kings, actually. King of Swords, King of Pentacles. You are comparing who you used to be with who you could be. I actually see you repeating a cycle here, but this time around you feel more aware is what I would describe, because it's not your first rodeo is what I'm hearing, especially with the noose on this card. It's making me think of like rodeos with the rodeo cowboys. Yeah, it's not your first time, so you're a bit more aware of what is happening this time around. You feel a little wiser. You feel like you're still in the dark, right? Because life is nuanced like that. Even if we feel like we're going through the exact same thing, there are little differences that make us feel a little insecure. But for the most part, there is a strange confidence you have in your ability to navigate this unknown. And it's equipped with experience with the King of Pentacles and a genuine level of maturity with the King of Swords. Like the King of Swords is intelligent, but mature enough to know that information is so broad, if that makes sense. Like this is the kind of person that knows enough to know that they won't know everything. I hope that that makes sense. I'm using a lot of words for some reason in the last couple of days. So this has to do with you developing into the best version of yourself. So honestly, it could cover many different aspects. This could be your career, it could be your studies. With it being the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords, you are doing this for you, but you're also aware of how it looks to other people. There's a certain pressure to maintain a reputation that you have and to continue to be somebody that others look up to in some way. Like you're not completely blind to the fact that your actions are impacting how other people see you. And if you do have people that are dependent on you or people that look up to you, you're very aware of how they're seeing you through this. Honestly, people on the outside are seeing you as someone who has it all together, but you feel like you're trembling. There's an insecurity here in, what if I'm wrong? What if I don't have it all right? So with the Hanged Man as the overall sort of energy, this theme does have you questioning. Like, you almost feel like you have moments where you spiral, but I honestly think you need to just find ways to ground yourself, because not only have you been through this before, but you just have the tendency to get in your head about this for some reason. I think it's a natural feeling of just doubt. You know, you can't possibly be that calculated and prepared for everything in life, but for some reason this rattles you. It makes you think like, goodness, did I do the right thing by betting all of my time and energy on this? Did I do the right thing by investing all my money into this? Did I do the right thing by taking that advice, or by choosing to do this again? Yeah, there's like a moment where you're just rattled, is what it feels like. And that's why you look back and you reflect on everything. And that's why you look forward and you go, I've still got so much to do. Spirit, I feel like I'm scaring these people. What is this about? See, when the Hanged Man shows up, this is an internal situation. You're internalizing a lot of this. You're not wanting to share it with a lot of people. You don't want to concern other people, but you also don't want to jump to conclusions. This is like you at the end of the night when you're alone, or you driving home from work, you know, when you're alone in the car. It's a moment when you don't have other people around you to distract you, and you're just trying to process things. I think it's healthy doubt, just trying to keep you humble. But with the Three of Swords reversed coming out to clarify, it's also a thought process that is impacting the choices you're making for your future. So just be careful here, because your past is making you doubt your future. Why? What is this actually about though? Love? You have a hard time here trusting other people, but also trusting your own abilities to navigate this situation with wisdom. Because I think your gut instinct, your intuition is actually really good at reading people at this point in your life because of what you've been through. So the only real unknown is yourself. You're wondering if you can actually trust yourself to do this. Four of Swords reversed. Am I ready enough? Am I healed enough? Will I recognize the warning signs this time? Will I be able to pull this off? So what is the outcome here? Can we get some insight? The Nine of Pentacles. Honestly, I think that this is just a healthy... You've dragged me into your rabbit hole for no reason. Nine of Pentacles upright. This is a healthy way of you naturally needing to purge intrusive thinking, which could be impacted by the full moon. But I honestly think that the outcome here is a lot of achievement. So the Nine of Pentacles is a positive sign of material security, financial independence, higher learning, being successful in educating yourself if that's your journey. Ultimately, this is about you being secure in yourself and having a lot to possess and own, but also offer. The outcome of all of this is finding a way to ground yourself back in reality, to be able to go, why am I so worried? Like, this is just life, and I'm taking it a bit too seriously again, because I am actually doing a lot better than other people. Not to invalidate your experiences, but I kind of just want to shuffle these back into the deck, because what a rabbit hole, Capricorn. And it's not that it was completely unnecessary, but I think that you need to come back to this reading when you feel yourself spiraling and go, oh my gosh, what am I worried about, right? It's a interesting way of reflecting. It's like you can't fully reflect without projecting fears of like, oh my God, what if I go through that again? When actually I was shown somebody who's got a very good head on their shoulders, someone whose gut instincts are developed through experience and a strong connection to information that you've gained, as well as information that you've learned from other people's experiences. You're also, when it comes to material attachments, you're showing up as someone that has a bit to fall back on. You're not, and there is that saying of the higher you are, the lower you fall. But I think that's just you finding a way to kind of like, it's almost like you're trying to take yourself down a peg a little bit, or your ego is being checked, but it's you that's doing it. I don't know. It's a lot. It's an internal thing too, but I think it's impacting the way that you allow others to see you as well, because you're not feeling confident, you're feeling a little insecure. So be careful of projecting that onto people who don't see you like that, Capricorn. You're coming across as someone who a lot of people look up to, and yeah, they don't see that internal struggle, which I think is very Capricornian, actually. Welcome, Macy. I'm going to have to move forward, sweet souls. That was 15 minutes of that rabbit hole. Let's have a look at what this Earth theme has to offer you. We have the Two of Swords. This card nearly came out for the last theme as well, so you're in your head a lot. I have to find a more concise way of talking. We have the Star card. Can I get one more card? We have the Knight of Cups reversed. And at the back of the deck is the Fool. Okay, so let's have a look at all of this. The Fool card at the back of the deck makes me think that you're looking for a way to shed layers and to, I want to say, okay, there's something here with the Star and the Fool about a long-term goal. It's going to take years to pull off. It's pretty high aspirations. Like, not everybody could do this, but you feel like things are aligned in a way where it's perfect for you. It's going to take years to achieve, and it's different for all of you. There is a measure of this with Earth that feels like physical success, but it also is going to build your character. It's going to build your skills. It's going to help you brush shoulders with the right people who you can also gain inspiration from. It's going to help you social network in quite a professional way, make new friends. And it's going to test your ability to be adaptable and dynamic, which is where you kind of need to brush up on your skills. You're trying to kind of disrupt things by building something like an extension of the version of who you are now. You're relying on your experience to do this. And before the end of February, you're starting to really cement these goals. You're starting to really have a look at what those next steps are. And you're actually taking that leap of faith, that risk. This could have started at the start of February, but before the end, it's well and truly on the way. There is a bit of a moment here where you're in your head with the Two of Swords, where you're needing to deliberate on what those next steps look like, on what those follow-up actions are, and of how much to put into this. Because it is something that feels aspirational, it's a bit hard to juggle it with your other priorities, with your other commitments. There could be practical concerns behind this. If you're trying to get this idea off the ground, you're also still wanting to pay for the roof over your head, right? And show up to the job that you currently work for. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry that comes through in the mic too with the tissue noise. So this is just you weighing up the pros and cons of what your next actions should be. This is a major theme though. Instead of it being a quick afternoon, you're taking the whole rest of the month to deliberate on what those next steps should be. And it almost feels like you've been taking it slowly. You've been slowly allowing this to kind of come off the ground. There's a lot of hope in you to pull this off. With the Knight of Cups reversed, you may be worried that it's at the expense of other areas of your life, or that it's at the expense of other relationships, like you could be worried about how you putting so much time and energy into this is impacting the people that you care about. So this Earth energy is trying to find balance. because you want to start to put this into a plan. You want to flesh this out and really get into the details. And there's something about this that really sort of brings your childlike curiosity and desire for knowledge to life. You feel like a bit of a novice when you do this, which is quite rare for you. You feel like this could be something really good for you, but it also feels like it has to fit into the other areas of your life, and it's hard for you to balance all of that. So with Taurus and Virgo, you're having to, in the next 15 days, find a way to create balance for all of this. This can work, and you're probably one of the best people who can pull this off. You're able to oversee the future aspects of logistics in terms of making sure that all of those risks are taken care of. I honestly don't know what I can tell you except confirm the path that you're on, sweet soul. Is there any advice or concerns they should have? No, don't do it half-assed is what I can say. What is the standard English way of saying that? Because I'm pretty sure that's a colloquialism. Don't just, put a little bit into this. Really believe that you can succeed, because whatever this is giving you attention and it's helping you. So your advice is to stand out. It's helping you get recognized quite quickly. There's a level of notoriety about this, sweet soul. I don't know how to put it into words. I'm really struggling. The way that it feels is that the choices that you're making are important, so don't rush them before the end of February. Just keep nutting through it as you have been. There's no real challenge because you're being very perceptive. You're being very in tune with this. And you're also really good at reading other people. So your advice is to continue doing that when it comes to collaborating with others, sharing this idea with others. Spirit's almost indicating that not everybody needs to know what your goals are, what your dreams are. So some of your advice, in order to keep momentum going and in order to attract the right kind of attention, is to not publicize what you're doing behind the scenes. Be very careful about how much you put out there on social media or in a public setting, so that you can continue to foster this childlike curiosity, which is a huge drive behind your success in this area. This theme is about finding balance. You're not going to find balance by bringing in too many people. You kind of just need to focus on those core people that need to know. And then you just need to focus on a plan, a long-term plan for you. In terms of other people, not like this Knight of Cups reversed, you feeling worried about what other people might think or feel. I actually think that's just you trying to be considerate of other people's feelings. I think that the people who do know about this and who will learn about this are going to be very supportive of you with the Six of Wands upright. And I think that this is a classic case of you all of a sudden having a whole career or a whole business or a whole, successful pillar in your life that you were able to keep behind doors, like a whole qualification it could even be. And then people find out in a couple of years' time, I'm a fully qualified mechanic. I've been doing that in my free time or whatever it is. Your loved ones with the Knight of Cups reversed, I don't have any huge concerns about that. I don't know if that's just me and all my earth placements. Spirit, do they need to worry? I actually think with the Six of Wands upright, a lot of people are going to be very proud of you, very supportive of you, they're going to be cheering for you, They're going to be grateful that you are this pillar of this sign of material success, but also that hard work pays off. There's a feeling of a lot of young people watching you. I don't know what that's about. Are you at that stage where you have children or young nieces and nephews or younger siblings that are just looking up to you? It keeps coming up. Like you have this reputation of like rich auntie or, that person who, when they put their mind to something, they do it. And this is that case. This is you all over again. People that have known you for years aren't going to be surprised that you're doing this, even though it feels like a surprise with all this Uranus energy. People that have known you for years are going to be like, oh, I'm so glad you did that. I love that for you. There are some people who, again, you attract with envy because they can't do what you do, but that's another story. It doesn't need to be a part of your February. So let's move forward. I have a really weird time reading for you this time around because it feels like I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Your challenges seem to be easily overcome, which I love. And most of your turmoil is internal. It's you spiraling because you're not grounding yourself. But actually, I'm seeing a lot of signs of success. And before the end of February, it's just about fleshing out those details and finding a balance, a practical balance, to make sure your priorities are straight in the long term. I'm hearing 6 months specifically because of this Virgo energy. Virgo is very helpful in medium-term planning. Taurus is like short-term planning. Capricorn's long-term planning. So we're looking at the short-term and medium-term, trying to plan those things out for the year, starting from February. So let's talk about trine before I end up here for too long. Wow. We have the Hermit coming up for trine. What else for Capricorn spirit? We have the Ten of Swords, and at the back of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles. I probably could have used way less words for you, sweet soul. I'm just in a very chatty mood for some reason. But I honestly feel like you might get more drama in your other signs. Whatever your Capricorn placement is, it's doing pretty well. You're covering all bases in a very grounded, except for this. This is where behind closed doors you have a bit of trouble staying grounded, but externally you're doing well. Internally you just need to find ways to stick to maintain that confidence. And I think you're evaluating your ego, which is helpful. But anyway, trine is a theme that has to do with working well with others and kind of making sure that the energy around you is supportive of what you're wanting to work on, of your goals. With that card reverse, sweet soul, it does feel like you're pushing people away. It does feel like you're having a bit of a hard time finding an environment that is supportive. And it could feel like there's conflicts in some of your relationships. Like those people aren't able to keep you grounded. They may be going through it. Your capacity is limited. You're not able to give them what they need from you. So I do see you spending some time alone. This Hermit card is also an indication of people coming to you for advice before the end of February. It's a sign of you needing time out. You're actually pretty sought after for some reason with the Ace of Pentacles reversed. A lot of people are wanting your time. Maybe a lot of people are wanting your money too, but I don't usually read the Ace of Pentacles like that. I see it as you needing to hoard your resources to be able to feel more confident about who you're giving them to and who you're exchanging them with. And the Ace of Pentacles in terms of a resource is more than money. It's the most valuable resource, which is time. So we're being stingy with our time, to put it plainly. Taking time out, time away from other people, being a bit of a solo, flying solo. And it feels healthy. Like with the Hermit card upright and the Ten of Swords reversed, I think that you kind of need this. You're really needing time to introspect because of what's going on over here. But other people are just seeing, oh, Capricorn's just, doing their own thing. They've just, they're not answering my calls, or they haven't really been wanting to see me. A lot of people want to see you for some reason. Before the end of the month, you may even be canceling plans with somebody with the Ace of Pentacles reversed. The Ten of Swords reversed makes me think that you're trying to preserve, like you don't want to show up if you're not in the right mood. You don't want to socialize if you don't have anything positive to say. but you're also not wanting to exchange energy with people who are going to make you feel worse. And for some reason, your mood is very tentative. It's very quick to change. So you're trying to prevent a Ten of Swords moment by refusing to exchange energy with certain people. Is there any advice on this, Spirit? Is there any advice from this? We have the High Priestess with the Six of Wands. Okay, your advice is to just trust your intuition on this, sweet soul. With the Six of Wands at the back of the deck, I think that the people in your life will appreciate whatever time they have with you, whatever energy they can exchange with you. There is also an opportunity to do these things and later, you know, if it doesn't happen before the end of February, that's fine. Your advice is to trust your feelings, trust your intuition, and handle this situation with patience. There's also an element of, like the High Priestess keeps her cards close to her chest, right? So, I don't know. I don't think you have to tell everybody what's going on. You're being called to keep a low profile, really, and to just stay focused on your aspirations with that Star card and the Fool card. You've got a lot on your mind, and you need to feel confident about the decisions you're making for your future in the next 6 months. So if that means you need to keep your social circle small, Spirit's saying make those decisions for yourself with the confidence that it's the best thing you can do for yourself. I don't know. I feel like I'm using too many words. It's as simple as that. Let's have a look at your love life real quick. You're an interesting energy to tune into because you're very grounded, and these readings, at least so far, have been quite spiritual, if that makes sense. Like there's an element that has had layers to it, whereas your feet are like firmly on the ground, which I don't think is a bad thing. It's really good for you. It just means my position as your reader is mostly just to affirm what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, and to help you get out of your head by reminding you that you are more than capable of the goals you put your mind to. So what is going on for Capricorn's love life, Spirit, before the end of the month? Okay, Two of Pentacles. We'll take one more card as well. Knight of Cups. Yeah, okay. Now I can understand why that theme with the earth energy. King of Swords at the back of the deck. So I've got to talk about everybody because many different people come to these readings. Let's talk about the themes in your love life first, and then I will address how this may impact you if you're in a relationship, if you're in a situationship, or if you're single. So let's talk about the themes first. The King of Swords says there's a lot of decisions for you to make in your love life. You have to think about all the people involved in order to make these decisions. You may need to be diplomatic. You have to listen to what everybody is wanting, and you have to also discern the information you're receiving, which you're really good at. You're in a good energy to be able to objectively view information. But in a love life situation, you're coming across as someone that's being really calculated and careful, someone who's afraid to get their hands dirty, and who may be even looking at things in like a removed way. You're not putting yourself in it. You're kind of stepping back and going, interesting situation. What I'm seeing is that there are people, if you're single, and even if you're in a situationship, even if you're in a relationship, there are people who are feeling for you, who want to be closer to you. Your lover is one of them, but there's also other people who are really wanting to build a connection with you. I'm feeling this in a platonic way as well as romantic way, but you're looking at your love life in a serious way. These people are kind of trying to go through the process of emotional courting, right? Where they kind of get a feel for you emotionally, and you're coming through as, I don't know, you're just looking at it in a really removed way, in an objective way. It's almost like you're just watching a movie, and these people are like, why isn't Capricorn engaging in this? Like, I'm really trying So I can see here that this is where you're trying to find that balance in your life. We see it again with the Two of Pentacles. Before the end of the month, you're trying to figure out how much of a priority is my love life and how much of a priority is this person in my love life. For those who are in established connections, you're really trying to be conscious of your person's feelings. You're trying your best to see their side and to prioritize them. You are busy, sweet soul, if I can empathize with your circumstances. You're a busy person, and before the end of the month, those in connections are going to feel like things just haven't been able to come to fruition in your love life. Your lover may have come to you and said, hey, I'd really like to do this together. Do you think you'll have time? And you have every intention of prioritizing it, but the plans don't come into fruition. So overall, we end the month feeling like our love life didn't really gain a lot of progress in a practical way. We didn't see that relationship have those plans that we wanted. And if we're in a situationship, we don't feel very confident about the future of this connection. Even though feelings were exchanged and we made time for this person, I think that those in situationships are still going to feel like this person needs to prove themselves a little bit more, or this relationship needs to prove itself a little bit more. You're being very critical of your situationship if that's your circumstances. For those in situationships, your person is trying to wear their heart on their sleeve, and you're trying to give them as much time as you're willing based on your other priorities. But with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, it just feels like it's not coming together. It feels like there's no future there for some reason. And again, you're looking at it in a really cold way. So this is you making that judgment. How does this person in a situationship feel about Capricorn spirit? Yeah. You are coming across as very high value, somebody worth investing in long term. I feel like I'm doing a typical Capricorn reading and I kind of hate it because it's like, I don't know, it's coming across as very like stereotypical. But sweet souls, the Devil card reversed, the King of Pentacles, this is you. This person sees you. They see your allure. They see why other people are obsessed with you. They see why you have this attraction. They love that you are able to be so strong, such a mentor for some of you, but they see your value. They see what you have to offer. And that's why you're probably vetting them, because you're like, well, I know you see what I'm worth, but I need to see if you are worthy of these things as well. Very critical. Very critical. Now for my singles, I do think you have romantic interest for the Knight of Cups to come out. You may have more than one person coming your way with the Two of Pentacles. It feels like you're weighing up your options. You're trying to figure out, well, how much time and effort do I put towards this? Which makes me think that the people that are interested in you, you're not interested in them, because by the end of the month, same thing, right? A change of plans. We're uprooting that. We're not going to continue doing this. This is not it. So it might be an instantly gratifying situation that you've gotten yourself into with a bit of a sweetheart who's really going to treat you well for the time being, but you're just not seeing a future with them. A bit cutthroat, sweet souls, but that's what I'm seeing for you. Overall, you're really making sure that your priorities are straight. Whatever your circumstances are, you've got your priorities in order, and you're very much taking care of them in that order. You're not pushing things around. You're not getting distracted. You're busy, and people have to fit into that, especially if you're single. Yeah, that's the best I can do for you, Capricorn. I'm going to end your reading here and take a little refresher before I do Aquarius. It's been a pleasure to read for you. Very typical Capricorn reading in my opinion, but I hope it was helpful in confirming what you're doing and the path that you're on. Good luck with your next 2 weeks. I hope to see you in March. Maybe we'll have some more themes then, but I don't think this was a bad reading. I think it's just a very obvious reading, if that makes sense. To me, it feels obvious. But anyway, thank you, Capricorn, for your time, your energy. As we part ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. I hope you get plenty of opportunities to experience joy, happiness, connection, love, all of that before the end of the month. You don't really need my endorsement for the other material-based successes of this world, but I still wish you all the best. You've got this, and bye for now.